and let's see if we are live and people can hear us.
We're in near a very loud highway, so
yes, that's
hopefully
right.
you can hear us. Give us a little all systems go.
But we'll go in a minute. But first we needed to say some things outside of this place, because this is a store that was in a different location the first time that I saw it, and they have moved here.
Karen, hold on, let's.
Oh,
Karen Radford's in.
hi, Karen.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hello.
We sounding good, Karen? Dun, dun. George is going to play doctor and try to resuscitate
Yes.
this.
I think it may be
sad
too late for
individual.
this.
Karen, okay, we're good.
It may be too late for this particular mannequin, but there is a great big beautiful tomorrow. It says so on its shirt. This is the type of thing you see outside of Oddly Amazing Antiques, which is in Clarksville, Tennessee. These guys are a lot of fun. We went to their store in its old location and did a video on it, but they've moved to a larger space, and this is the first time I've seen it. So let's go on in and take a look. This is an actual mortuary thing. It's not really to be comfortable.
It's a gurney.
It's a gurney, but it's for someone who doesn't care anymore. And this thing is also oddly amazing. It is a 1960 vintage big old spotlight with a bunch of different colored lenses that you can move around in it. It's priced at $200. You've got green and yellow and red and some clear ones you can put something in. And apparently it still works, so that's kind of a neat thing. And then we have our friend here showing us, this is the name of the store. They are on Facebook and Instagram. They do a lot of social media locally here. But they are the standout in Clarksville as far as being definitely something different. And they're a lot of fun. They get some really oddball things. We'll see what they have today. Well, hello. Somebody wanted to let us know they were there.
They were very nice to turn the music off.
Oh yes, that was kind of them. And then here we go. Painted horse skull, 40 bucks. That's not bad. You're gonna see a lot of bones in this shop, so that's the first one. But let's go on in and see what they've got. And wow, I mean, here you go. Calgary Olympics, this is 1988, $15.
Hi, Barb.
The Glimmer Man. Hey Barb, is Barb here? That's great.
Yes.
Minority Report. So you've got these old 1980s and 90s era. Schwarzenegger looks awfully short in that picture, but these are priced $15 to $20, and you know this is the next era of collecting as far as movie stuff, so there's gonna come a time when people will wish they had gotten these at these prices.
What about her?
What about her? I don't know anything about her, except that she's there permanently.
In flight.
And so here's the shop, and here's some fun, well, you can buy this whole bank of interesting things. I don't know how 2/4 would get that out of that machine, but it's $3.50 for this whole bank
Something
of
tells me it won't.
these old vendors here. But they just have a lot of fun things here, and they have a lot of fun with it, you can tell. They do the Nashville Flea Market, or at least they did when that was still running more. But you're going to see any number of oddball things. You're going to see pop
Yvonne is here
culture
too.
stuff. Hey, Yvonne, it's good to see you, or at least hear you. This is very Peter Max looking. This is how they tried to get people to get into the Army in the 70s when Vietnam hadn't gone too well. They kind of changed it over to see your guidance counselor rather than the hard sell, because the hard sell didn't work too well then.
Oh,
So
no.
they've got regular antiques and collectibles sprinkled in, and then they have some really interesting oddball stuff with it. But like this Hollywood Regency lamp is 20 bucks, which is a good price for it. But then, like they say, it's a variety shop, and it's just such a strange and interesting variety. You've got the coconut monkey down there. They do get some pretty good collectible stuff. This is Democrat and Republican ashtrays from 1972 made in Japan. And then they've got a bunch of old advertising stuff. I like this one with the horse in it for $6. The reason it has a beanbag on the bottom.
Trina Cirque is here.
Hey Trina, good to see you. And Trina, by the way, I got those engravings for you, so I think I sent you an email. This little horse guy has a beanbag on the bottom because this was so that you could put it in your car and it wouldn't fall out and burn all of your upholstery. So that was a nice thought.
What is this?
Oh gosh, I didn't even notice that down here. Okay, this looks like we're in a military town, and this looks like a place that, oh yeah, this is showing where this guy was in the U.S. Air Force. Looks like he served all over the place.
Oh.
He was up in Iceland even. You see a lot of this sort of thing in military
Kia
towns.
Nate.
Hello, Nate. Good to see you. We are at Oddly Amazing Antiques and Collectibles and Vintage in Clarksville, Tennessee, for those of you just joining us. Old Masonic piece here, this little bud vase. Priced
really?
at $15. Yeah, you can see the level and the scribe in there.
Square.
The square, yes. And then this little poodle is cute. He's $4, and I think that he was originally meant to hold a lipstick or something, but you know, for $4, that might just be cute enough to come home. That looks like something someone might have fun with on a live
Lenny
sale.
Pie is here. Oh, look at the bath.
Lenny Pie.
Look at the bath and brew. Now, I don't know how vintage that is, but that's pretty funny. If you can see, it's
a coffee maker and soap dispenser. Okay,
Yes.
that is the greatest idea ever, except I don't even drink coffee, and I still like it. And for our Aquarius folks,
That would be me.
that would be you. This is right out of the early 70s, $6.
I'm
and
spilling my wisdom everywhere.
Yes, I believe in the brotherhood of men. And then the next word is, well, anyway, we'll just keep going here. Let's see. Okay, bottles galore.
Now, what's in this? Is this anything?
This is probably going to be a collector plate.
Ah,
This is
okay.
one of the last things that
Ooh,
Knowles
and-
China made in Ohio. And this one is a Norman
Rockwell.
Rockwell.
There's
And we
one
see a
back there.
lot of these, and unfortunately they are not selling these days. I think the people who really appreciated these all bought them when they were new and still have them. Oh, I think of Yvonne when I see this because she did finally get it, but I had a weeping silver rather than the gold panther that unfortunately got away, but she found one somewhere else. But I always look at the weeping gold. I think the silver is attractive. You don't see as much of it as the gold because gold was more the thing when
It's
it was
for your
in
nuts.
style. Yes, that's right. If only the Fatbird Finds gals were here, another nut holder. Now, if you turn around, there's something I
Look
really...
at the lamp. Look at the lamp, lady lamp back there.
Oh, okay. Well, look at this first. Oh, yes, that's right. We see these sometimes too. She's only 25. That's actually a pretty good deal. If that shade's in good shape and she works, she sort of looks like Dolly Parton, don't you think? Look at the face.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Boy.
missing arms, but
Oh, I don't know that she had any arms. I think that's just a casting. I don't know that those ever came with arms, to tell you the truth.
is that a chicken McNugget?
It is
Is that
something
a chicken?
nugget.
It's a chicken McNugget.
Oh, dear.
I think that is vintage now, isn't it? My
This seems like a
mind-
lot of folks these days.
What? My mind's made up. Don't confuse me with the facts.
Yes, right out of the 70s.
Oh, purple pitcher.
Oh yeah, the purple picture is really pretty. This is 1930s, so you know they do get antique vintage in here as well as the other stuff. It's priced at $45. That's probably about right for that piece. Grandma and Grandpa Banks saving for your retirement. But if you turn around, there's something really, really cool that I wish I
Okay.
could take to Florida. It is
Oh, yeah.
right there.
The
It is
gator.
giant. It is a huge stuffed alligator. I love this guy. And yes, he is a role model because he'll roll you and then eat you. That is very real. $2,500 or best offer. I don't see a lot of alligators as taxidermy, so I have to think that that's probably a good starting price. I always think these are cool. This one's a little rusted, but these were from the 30s, and it would have the tongs right there so you could get your ice or little nuggets of some sort.
Is that just glass?
It is a
Sitting
glass
in there?
insert. Yeah, that's
Okay.
by the glass insert was Hazel Atlas, and then other people made the
Wow.
other stuff.
Here's another
Tig the Tiger, shirt tails.
80s relic.
Is Tig the Tiger familiar to you? I see
shirt
1980,
tails.
81, 82.
Shirt
See,
tails.
I don't know what shirt tails was. That was after my time watching such
was-
things.
80, 81, 82. Yeah, I was a small child. Is that
This is one of these Sequoia ware. A lot of
Yeah.
people ask me about this because it sort of looks like treasure craft. They did the textured wood. We'll take Benny the Beatnik's face out of there. But it never says treasure craft. It just says USA because this was by American Bisque. And sometimes there'll be a Sequoia ware label on it. It's just a different glaze. It's a solid color and not the variation like Treasure Craft did. So when you see those, it's similar, it's just different. Ooh, look, a whole bunch of games in one. Weekend in Vegas, the most realistic gambling game ever made.
Blair.
Yeah, well, they probably left out some aspects of a weekend in Vegas that you might rather not talk about. But this is great because it's got all those, this is old downtown Vegas with all the neon back before the strip was really the thing.
See,
so
Carl,
this is 1960s.
Carl is saying the chicken nugget could be collectible.
It's absolutely true. The chicken nugget could very well be collectible. There are a lot of Happy Meal toys. Most of them are not, but a few of them are. And it's a whole area to learn that I don't know yet.
Nashville.
Is that the Nashville News Hound?
News phone. That's very odd.
Yes. Channel 5.
Huh. Is that a thing that news
$25.
stations
I
did?
think they must have just done it as a premium. I've never seen that before. Ah, here we go. This is where it went. So this is an actual mortuary slab table. And when I was here the last time in their old location, it was right about Christmas time. And so they had a big Christmas tree and a bunch of Christmas stuff on it. Now they have a bunch of, as you see, skulls and mandibles, all pricing. A mandible is about $13 each over here. Skulls are in the 20 to 40 range. Those are pretty typical prices. Now there is sure a lot of interest in taxidermy right at this moment in collecting. So they have it right under Mr. Alligator. Oh, they even have an alligator purse to match.
What about?
And an alligator head. And this particular one is, gosh, I'm not sure how much he is. Oh, there we go. He's $18. And here's a little caiman, but he's a little unstuffed.
Worse for wear.
Yes. Okay, cool. So let's see what else they have in here, because this is a fun store. It's definitely something different. Not every antique shop has a giant alligator and a bunch of bones.
Where are we
laying
again?
Here. This is Oddly Amazing Antiques in Clarksville, Tennessee. We are right downtown across from the river. This is their new location. These bottles are missing their stoppers, but these Italian bottles that were made to sell wine in the late 60s are really selling for big money. Some of them, Fatbird Finds found one of these in pink, and it could be worth as much as $400. Oh, what else do we have here? Old Genesee beer clock. That would be worth fixing if it could be. That's an old brewery out of Rochester.
Behind you, above your head.
Ooh, there we go. You know,
She's stepping out on the town.
That's right. Yeah, when you're going out, you got to be dolled up. And there we are.
Now, did you see these lights?
I like these lights. They're actually neater than the ones I didn't get at the last place, and they seem to be attached to this post that rolls. So apparently somebody had made this into something that was kind of a pole lamp. These were originally probably hanging in a foyer.
There's an
That
old.
could be taken apart and turned into some other good stuff. What am I missing here?
What do you call it? The thing on the bottom.
Oh, the old parking meter.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes, yes. Yeah, this is the kind of thing these guys have.
Did
They
we
just
take
have
the
fun,
last train to
interesting stuff.
Clarksville?
We did not actually. I don't think the trains run here for years, and I actually wondered as a kid whether the Beatles were talking about Clarksville, Tennessee, but I think somebody just, the Beatles, the Monkees.
The Beatles.
But I think that somebody just told them where Clarksville was.
What is this? Oh, it's a drawing.
Oh yes, famous artist cartoon course. When you would send off the matchbooks, on matches they'd say, you can be a famous artist, and you would send in money, and you would end up getting these, and then you were supposed to look at how other people had
that's,
drawn and then learn how to draw.
Little Abner.
Little
right?
Abner and Daisy May from Dog Patch, that's right. Local interest, as they say. So if you wanted to teach yourself to draw and you were really, really devoted, you actually could learn to be an animator from using these. Oh, did we miss something good?
Oh, I don't know. Just, was that a character? Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, Muscle Man.
Yeah, there we go. Anatomy for cartoonists. So these are really fun. So for, it looks like 25 bucks a piece, $75, you can go back in time and you don't have to find that matchbook and send it in. You can teach yourself to be a famous cartoon artist. And I'll bet somebody did. I'll bet somebody who took that course ended up being famous at some point. These are things from the early 80s. We see these in thrifts a lot. They are starting to be collectible.
Oh,
They're called human beans. They were
I
popular in
remember
the early 80s, and they were by Nesco, and you can see the label on the bottom of that. And they did a lot of different varieties of this. These glasses here are not a bad price, $5 each. I believe these are Culver. I don't know whether they're signed though, but they definitely have that golden red that was so popular in the late 60s together. So if somebody is looking for a set, and they've got nice texture, so if you're drinking something out of them and they sweat, they're not going to fall out of your hand. We're used to seeing this style of those, but the flowers I think are actually more appealing in some ways. I have to admit I'm tempted.
World's Fair.
Yep, 1964 to 65. You see the Unisphere here. That was built just about where the Trilon and Perisphere had been in the 39 World's Fair. Now, Yvonne has kind of turned us all on to the things that were made of little pins by Grandma. Well, here were things where Grandma stacked little pieces of paper together and made tiles and made things out of them from the same era. So maybe those will be the next big thing. All right, let's see what else they have. They always have a little bit of uranium glass. It looks like they've been kind of picked over because there's a big empty spot down there.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh, yeah, nuclear.
That's a rabbit.
Yes, a rabbit on a nest.
Now, what would that have been?
A water bottle from a refrigerator.
Okay.
Probably done for the refrigerator itself, like you bought the refrigerator and it came with it, is my guess.
Gotcha.
You even have some flavor crystals in there still. And this is fun. Someone has turned this into the Shock-O-Matic. Danger high voltage. This just looks like something that will kill you.
Oh, hi, Daniel. Yes, we were just talking about Clarksville's military past.
Yes, that's right.
In addition to its present.
Military present, yes, yes. Clarksville was important in the Civil War and has
Vietnam
been
War.
Since then. Oh yeah, a lot of people came through here.
Military induction post.
Yes, especially because
Prior
of
to the
Big Red One and all
He
of that.
says it is the monkeys.
It is the Monkees. Yeah, I said the Beatles. I don't know what I was thinking.
Well, no, but I mean, he's saying it is the Clarksville.
Oh, that they were referring to this? Interesting. So here's Peter Pepper. This was supposed to be kind of like Mr. Potato Head. In fact, it says his friend, Mr. Potato Head. This was back when you would use actual vegetables and stick things into them and make them into little critters. I'm sure some of those smelled real good after a while. That's why eventually you didn't use a potato anymore. And here's Katie the Carrot. These are priced pretty well. They've got $20 a piece. I've seen them actually go as high as $35. The box isn't in great shape, but it's a good price for what it was. And you see, this is when Katie Carrot and Mr. Potato actually have heads. And then we have the Sears Action Gymnastics set for fashion dolls, so Barbie can stay in shape and keep that unrealistic figure that she has.
Friend.
Yes.
Teofane says, friend, in quotes.
$10 for the Sears Action Gymnastics set. Let's see what kind of shape that's in, because this actually might be fun. I could see where somebody who collects Barbies might enjoy this just because it's kind of a go-along. Looks to me like she's got, oh gosh, everything you could need. Looks like you could put her in traction, which is what I need for my back today. And there she is. I think she's supposed to be doing gymnastics. So I don't know why this is such a silly thing, but I've had a couple people saying that they're
Why is George holding a poodle?
Why am I holding a poodle? Because I think I'm going to buy the poodle. It's only $4. It's a lipstick holder. It's just cute. I have a show in Mount Dora, Florida, not this weekend, but the following, and I'm looking for a few just sort of fill-in things to go to that. I've got a pretty good group of stock already set aside, but a couple people who are coming, a couple of viewers said that they collect dolls. So we'll see if they have any interest in this, because I'm amused by it. Sometimes that's all it takes to get me to buy something.
Yeah, this interesting. Oh.
Yes, I'm not sure.
What's that?
Oh, that's in here. She's got a little orange mat, and she's supposed to jump up and down, but I think she just sort of hangs there.
Okay.
So I'll tell you what, I'm going to set these down, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm going to just start a pile while we're doing it. Thank you. All right. So, yes, this place is definitely bigger than their old place. Ooh, look at this. Clinton Police Department. These are all old mugshots.
That one looks like you up there.
Well, actually, the flannel shirt looks like me in high school there, except I didn't have a mustache. But that is about that era. I'd say these are 1977, yeah. Wow, if you were bad in 1977, you could be there. I wonder if they're selling that. That could be pretty fascinating, actually. See if we note any current dignitaries who happen to be from Clinton. Gosh, I've gotten a little out of order here. Let's see. Oh, here we go.
Look, the Bionic Crisis.
Where's that?
Right there.
Oh, the Bionic Crisis is a game. Okay, well, I was going for J.R. Ewing first from Dallas. This was such a big deal in the 80s. I've got to believe that Dallas collectibles are going to come back in, and there are some. They made a fair amount of merchandise. Considering it was an adult show, it's surprising that there's any. And then this is the Bionic Crisis with the $6 million man who was the first cyborg. I preferred the Bionic Woman personally, but okay, let's see what else we've got in here. Looks like some old letters, just random stuff. They do get a lot of just random stuff here. They buy out a lot of old sheds and places full of just random whatever, because that's how they can get these oddball things as opposed to just glass and china and the usual stuff that we see. That's kind of fun because it's Amarillo. Amarillo is a great place to shop for antiques and vintage if any of you ever happen to be that far out in the middle of Texas. There is a place on Old Route 66 there that I find a designer piece of furniture every time I go there.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
Yes, we've heard that one, mainly from cowboys. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. I have one of these, and I've never actually seen one in the box before. It is a tiny little combination for very tight and curved work. It's a plane, a woodworking plane. It has this little ball here that you could put some sort of a stick in if you had to work something from a long distance. You could actually reach it, but I've never seen it with the box. That's kind of neat. It's just a little doodad when you put it together. $10 and definitely worth it. Here's a big old thing that looks like it might be from a Victorian funeral, but that is quite old. That's 1880s or 90s. Originally, these usually sat on a stand and then the whole thing would tip forward so you could serve because it would be too heavy to pick up with the fluid in it. Ooh, that's neat. This looks like a real one. This is a 1920s desk phone. This is when they first started coming out with this style phone. Bell System, this is Western Electric. It was a very common and popular one in the time. It could be rewired and it would actually still work. And I have to admit, I'm a little bit tempted by that. I'm gonna have to look into what they're selling for, but I think that might be buyable, even at $65. We'll do a little research first. Ah yes, and just because they do like the oddities here, here's a lovely sandwich board with somebody's heart. Hearts are not nearly as cute as they look in the little drawings that we make on Valentine's Day, that's for sure. Oh, and interestingly, what's fallen underneath it, Florida's Miami and Miami Beach.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what era this one's for.
Haul that down.
Yeah, I might just.
Is it intact fully?
Eden Rock Hotel, yeah, I don't think anybody sold those. Biscaya, that's a wonderful place. It's the guy who owned International Harvester, McCormick actually built that. And it is like an Italian palace. It's wonderful. The Fontainebleau Hotel is quite famous, of course. Ah, and the flamingos at Hialeah. Well, that's kind of cute.
Flew away.
Well, I have seen them fly elsewhere in Florida. Yes, that's true. When I was a kid, they actually got all the way up to Cocoa Beach, which is really unusual, and we got to see them, so that was neat. Let's see what else is interesting and oddball in here.
Look, the tiniest little...
The tiniest little looks like a Hager, but it's actually handmade.
Okay.
But they do have some neat lucite in here. Let's take a look. This is a lighter with, it looks like an oyster and pearl in the bottom. That's certainly strange. I don't know that it's beautiful, but it's interesting, and it is a Ronson, I think, if I'm reading that right.
Are the chains made from gum wrappers worth anything?
I have a feeling that they will as some sort of folk art kitsch. I haven't seen people really buying them for a lot of money yet, but I do think that they're interesting. And if you can prove that they're older, one of the problems with things like that is that it is possible for people to make new ones. So you kind of want to look and see, are there going to be more later?
You can't see this up here, but I'm going to show it.
Looky, yes.
Yes.
Geese with blue bows
It's
around
a
their neck.
milk bottle, right? Big
Yes,
one.
and I have sad news for those of you who hate those things. You'll see it in an upcoming video, but I was at a little appraisal fair I did up in the mountains of Kentucky. I can't wait to get that out. It was really fun. People brought really interesting stuff, but the woman who has the shop up there who sponsored it had a blue ribbon goose. And I said, oh, do you think these are going to sell? And she said, I hate to tell you, but they're already selling.
Finally, a globe with New Zealand. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, that's right, New Zealand.
There it is. Way down there. It's prominently displayed, actually.
Well, you know, now we're getting into fall and winter here, so actually New Zealand's at the top. These you'll see from time to time, and it's nice to see this group here because this is 7 of the 8. This was originally a set of 8 in a carton from Japan. They're just cheap redware, but they're all shot glasses, and they all have this is gunshot. There's double shot, poor shot, good shot, short shot, big shot, and I can't remember what the horse is called. Long shot, that's right. And these were all made in Japan in the 1960s, but you could buy them as a set originally. Oh, this silly thing. 1970s Peanut Dispenser. I have turned these down every time I've seen them, and lately it's been occurring to me that they're just so strange that somebody might like them now, and this one's not very expensive, so I think I'm going to get it. Just a silly thing for fun. This is a vibrating massage device from the 1920s. It
seems weird with that cup thing.
Well, they would have had different ones, but this would have been to kind of isolate around a disc in your back or something. This is a Hawthorne. I did a big appraisal for a gal who had $30,000 worth of massage-related, chiropractic-related items like this. It was a really interesting collection. I've never seen anything like it.
Random.
And then a random Fenton piece, because you got to have one cutesy thing in the middle of the shop, just for those of you folks who can't get enough Fenton and are in an oddity shop. Well, here's a piece for you. And it's a nice piece, actually. The blue satin from the late 60s, early 70s.
Carl said he sold a lot of, quote, massage devices.
Oh, yeah, they do sell. Cookie cutters, we're getting close to that season. It's a good graphic. It looks like 1940s, but it doesn't look like they're all there, so gonna leave that. That's a cute little Japanese dog.
Look at the cow.
Yes, the cow. The cow has had better days, though.
Oh, yeah. Is it a panther?
Well, it's a
something.
Japanese panther attempt, yes. All right, let's see what else they have in here. This poor guy has had a very hard life, whatever he is.
Are any of these desirable?
No, that's Hyatt Regency hotel stuff from the 70s, but not really collectible. Jiminy Cricket with the flash view eyes is pretty good for $6. If he didn't have that chip there, I would get him. Nice old RCA Victor here. We'll have to try this later and see if it gets any reception, because that's a very good price on it. If it could be made to work, that would be worth buying. Here's the Shawnee version of the sundial. I keep showing the Hall versions from the 30s, but this is the Shawnee Kenwood from the 1950s.
Yeah, that's pink.
It's pink and black, very mid-50s. $25, that's a good price for it, and it's going to say, it's probably going to say Kenwood on the bottom. It'll be hard to read, but it's in the middle. But that was something that Shawnee Pottery made. Kenwood is a suburb of Cincinnati, and so since it was the mid-50s and that was the posh suburb, they named a whole line after them.
What is this back there?
Oh, that's cute. Kiko the Kangaroo. This is one of the Castle films. These are these old kids' films that you would show at home on your 8 or 16 millimeter camera or projector.
There's Boobaroo.
Boobaroo, this guy?
Yep.
This one has had a boo-boo.
Aw.
So boo-boo-boo.
Yeah, that's what Fat Birds calls it.
Now here's a good example of a newer piece of jadeite glass that I want to show you. This was brought in by Martha Stewart.
Personally?
Well,
okay.
pretty much. After she got everybody excited about collecting the real stuff, then she started bringing in a line from China. And you'll notice it's hard to see. It doesn't have a mark on it, but they're just a little bit light in color. They're not quite as deep as the real Fire King, and they don't say Fire King, so should be able to keep those straight. Now behind here, this looks like a Maxfield Parrish front, but I'm sure it's a 70s book. Nashville's Restaurants, Menus and Recipes. What kind of restaurants did Nashville have then? Let's see what they're serving. Oh, they literally have the recipe back when you could go to, oh, let's see, let's get something that's expensive here. Old Hickory restaurant sounds like it would have been money.
There's a...
Oh, but they don't show the prices.
Hold on, there's a steakhouse that I may not be able to find.
Well, something called Steeplechase might be.
Okay, yeah.
So at Steeplechase, you could get veal Oscar for $14.95. Fowl and seafood. I'm not sure using the word fowl in a fancy restaurant is necessarily what they were going for, but. All right, let's see what else there is here.
Put the little molds back.
Oh, yes, that's right. I should put the display back the way I found it.
What about this?
Oh yeah, these are just little guys that pick up toothpicks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If there were toothpicks in there, you would see how they lift them out. Here we go, the Treasure Chest Coin Bank. I'm not sure I'll be able to show this to you, so I'll tell you what, I'm going to put down what's in my hand. Well, because we don't know how chesty she might be. Press the button and watch the action. Battery operated.
Take a chance.
She's $80, and oh, I would say, yes, she's clad enough. We know where this is going, though.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
It will cost you.
$80 it will cost you.
She says so.
Yes. And actually, she's pretty great. That sort of thing, I had a Playboy Bunny cocktail shaker like that, and I got a lot of money for that. This is on the small side, but it's a nice Murano bowl, and it's got the nice silver in the bottom, and it is $15. I think that's worth getting. So
look at the Spuds McKenzie.
Yeah.
That's
coming back.
From the past.
That sure is, along with Mickey and Pluto. And then I'm going to let you show them dental stuff while I take these to the counter.
I'll walk with you.
Okay.
Oh, there's something fun. That is the
oh yeah
the pole dancing cowgirl.
Yes,
I think the Fisher Price version.
Who's throwing nickels? That's weird. So then, of course, again, because we have lots of medical oddities and stuff, we've got a bunch of dental molds and various things. And yes, people do collect these, and not just for Halloween anymore. Let's see what they've got over here. Again, more of same. And again, when they find oddball things displayed in some crazy way, they just leave it. Like this milk bottle, somebody threw all their old spark plugs in. So there you go, just the way they found it. It's just entertaining. I think some of the stuff that they get here is really something different.
What is this?
This is a savings bank. National Broadcasting Company.
Is that
this
flocked?
is Phineas T. Bluster, and yes, it's flocking. Phineas T. Bluster was a character on some show on NBC, and I don't remember which show. If anybody out there can tell us. This was made in the early 70s, I believe, and sold as a bank from Hong Kong, a very cheap bank. They often were. But for somebody who remembers this character, he's only $13. And, I'm about to have a crown put on my tooth. Maybe I could take one of these in for $8 and save myself $1,700 bucks. That would be nice.
I can install it.
Never mind, I'll pay the $1,700. All right, let's see what's in here. They've got some cool little things here. This is Chicago World's Fair from the Hall of Science, which is prominently displayed. It's just a little folder, and I suspect that it's got a mirror and probably something for your sewing kit or a coin for cab fare. Not a bad price on that. Ah, delicious cookies.
Delicious cookies, fetal pig.
Not quite so delicious when you look up close. But again, people really do collect this sort of thing, and you don't see it very many places. So it's neat to find a place that actually can get and will sell that sort of thing. This is kind of neat. It's the interest department of the West Jersey Trust Company, but basically you'd put your bills in here and your coins in there, and you had to go to the bank to get into the thing. Or you could just poke it with your finger like I did, I guess. Let's see what else we can show off here. In the realm of medical oddities, and we have rabbit hearts, piglet hearts.
Oh, a whole vial of them.
Yes, a whole bunch of those sorts of things. And here's a lovely snake in the
It's a little hard
right
to see
in
through
here.
the glare.
Yeah, but it is a pretty unusual thing. And that the snake is $175. Some of these medical things really do sell for good money. The bottom of a doll. Now, if you ever see Tina at a Vision and Vintage, she likes to put domes together with things in them, and obviously she's not the only one because they're doing that with these.
Is that what is that, seat
This
bottom?
is
Seat top?
It is a little stool, yes, child-sized stool that you could sit on.
Oh.
If he wasn't torn, I'd get him because he would sell in Florida like that. He's from about 1970, and he's back when they still said Walt Disney Productions, which means it's before 1985-ish. All right, let's see. We're going to come around. Oh, this is cool here. This is a train car ashtray, and it's got the removable and interchangeable trays. So basically you could unscrew and rescrew these in various forms. But yes, these were for the train cars. They're extremely heavily weighted on the bottom.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's cool, and it's priced at $300, but it probably should be. And then this is a fan. And it looks...
Go around and see.
Here, I'll tell you what. I'll get out of your way. And then you can see the floor fan that also is a seat on top.
Oh. Yeah, it's blue.
With an ashtray here, and you can put your drinks here, and the fan would help keep your drinks cold in the summer as well. That's priced at $100. I think that's a very good price for that. And then this is neat. See Tennessee in spectacular 3-dimension, featuring this viewer. 3.5 minutes for 10 cents. And you've got your thrilling 3D pictures of scenes and points of interest. This is a really neat thing. I have not seen one of these out on the market before.
What do you see?
I see that Tennessee is very dark.
The mountains of Dollywood?
Yes, I guess that's it. All right, let's see what they've got in the back here. Great old green typewriter, of course.
Now, what is that? Oh, what is that?
This piece in the back here?
Yeah.
This is an address book, actually. You press the letters and it'll pop open to your groovy friend, whoever it is, with the long orange hair and the teal face. Perhaps Phineas T. Bluster was on Howdy Doody. Thank you. I could not remember. It was a little before my time, but that's right. It was Howdy Doody. Thanks. All right, let's see. I've always liked this guy. This is a cigarette lighter, and you turn the wheel and...
Oh, yeah. You have one of those. Oh, that one works.
Yes, it does. I was not expecting that, actually. Fortunately, you flinched more than I did, so that was good.
Smelled.
Yes, it definitely has a smell. And then there's just more and more in here than there was before. So
now this is something that I would.
Oh, you and cats. I'm sure the cats feel the same way.
It seems like fun to me.
This looks more fun to me. These are good mixers. Any of these wooden covered cocktail books are definitely worth buying. $12 is a pretty good price. Sometimes you'll see them at sales for a lot less. And they're gonna show, well, people singing barbershop quartet in the 1890s, but this is actually from 1967, and it's got a bunch of different cocktail recipes. You'll see these all the way back to the 1930s though. Definitely collectible. Oh, and since they like to feature scary things, look, it's Michael Vick,
Who's that?
football player who got to go to prison for running pit bulls for a while.
Some of those.
Oh yes, chalkware, carnival chalkware. The one on the right is particularly disturbing looking. And then down here we have something that would be fun to take to Florida for me because it's one of these shell lamps that they sold to the tourists, but this one is a ship.
Oh, wow.
And I've never seen one that was done as a ship before.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's definitely extravagant in its strangeness.
And then there's this.
Oh, the Smurf radio, yep. Smurfs are coming back, and gosh, that seems like a pretty good price.
Yeah, it's got boo-boos.
It's got some problems, yeah. Dad apparently put his cigarette out on it for some reason. He must have not really liked the Smurfs, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we have in here. Oh, here we go. Old novelties. They're always very silly. They're usually from the 70s. They're usually a little tawdry, and then you open it up.
That.
And, well, there you go. That's what it is. They're yo-yos. His and hers.
No.
For your retirement is a handy hot plate. Oh, and a pair of
Denture
dentures.
warmer.
Yes, very nice. A
There's
Happy
look.
Mouth toothbrush. I think I know what's in here. I bet this is one that I can't show you. Yeah,
I
that's
can
right.
show that.
Spencer Gifts. We'll just leave that to your imagination.
What does it say? For the man who has trouble getting up in the morning.
Yes,
So there's boobs in there.
of course. Are you man or mouse?
See my pussy about a little tail. Oh, okay.
I'm thinking that you better not be a mouse in that case. I can see
Be
tennis is
careful,
your
you
game.
know I'll read things.
Oh dear.
What's that?
More breastises. We'll just leave it at that.
Here, show this. That's something you'll like.
Okay, this we can show. Florida thermometer, it says it's about 65 or 67, which it is, so it's accurate. This is a Japanese
So subtle.
tourist souvenir, not subtle at all. Yeah, they were not really looking for subtlety in the 70s. You know, because this is Florida, it's not something I usually buy. They're
talking about
usually
the boobs.
import. I know what she was talking about. This one, even though it's not great quality, it works and it's inexpensive enough, and Florida souvenirs sell to collectors in Florida, so I will take that too. And then we have a Reagan button in Israeli. You don't see many of them in English, let alone Israeli.
Israeli.
Yeah, well, Hebrew.
Hebrew?
Or Hebrew. Yeah. And then if your clogs are too boring, well, you just sticker them up with Captain America, and then you have super clogs. Okay, let's see what else is back here.
Is that a home thing?
Oh, yeah, and not a good one. That's one of the scariest things I've seen in here.
Really?
Well, to me anyway. I have a thicker skin about things
Ooh, look
like
at this.
piglet hearts, but when it comes to
like a
horrible
big-
housewares,
Purse?
yep, it's like a big purse, and these are all recent vintage. Whenever you see that looks like a purse, that's been done maybe the past 20 years. It didn't exist before then, so do not be fooled. It's okay if you like them, just know what you're getting. Oh yes, that's a lovely display.
That's what
Like
I
I
feel like
said.
doing when I have a sinus infection.
Oh, well, if that would help.
Wait, what is this?
Okay, let's see, what is
Say
this?
like these weird things with a piglet. Look, it's like a dryer sheet. What is that?
Dryer sheet wall dispenser.
Yeah, but it's like piglet fresh smell. I mean, what is that?
I'm not sure what that's getting about. Maybe Arnold Ziffel approved, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
These are old things you'll see sometimes. I don't know that there's much call for them. These are lettering sets, and this was back before we had all these wonderful computers that could set our lettering for it. You would actually, to do things like cartography, you would actually have to use all of this device in order to make little tiny words on maps and such things. It's amazing how much stuff like this became obsolete instantly when the computers came and computer-assisted design. 200, you know, old neon is just, you're just going to pay that for old neon nowadays. It's very hard to find at inexpensive prices.
Shot glasses galore.
An original Mickey phone.
What is this? What's this thing down here?
It says a Baby M. And the Baby M is, whoops, oh, Baby All, model E6.
Baby All.
It is, do
Put your
not
baby
boil
in there?
dry. No, I think it's supposed to be, I'm not sure if it's a,
Diaper burner.
well, it could do that. Let's see what we've got in there.
Oh,
Oh, it's a bottle
yeah,
warmer. Of course, that makes
That's how we
perfect
don't
sense.
have children.
Well, we also aren't in 1950. Nowadays, people do that with other ways. But behind it is a Sterling beer sign, an old light-up one, for $45. And Sterling beer was out of Indiana, I think. Yeah. And this particular one, you know, it's worth about $45 now. The prices have really gone up on these if they light, even if it's just simple plastic. Don't pass them by thinking, oh, those are junk and no one wants them, because what's happened is old neon and metal signs have gotten so expensive that, yeah, they want them. The original telephone, Don Winton design, it's got a Chicago area code on it, so you know they travel to shop. Let's see if there's anything else that we've missed back here.
You know, some old toys. Board games. Ooh. Scary.
What's
Mask.
that?
Oh, just weird things like that.
Oh, yeah, strange masks and think, oh boy, that guy really is.
That's a log in my eye. Isn't that like
Yes, yes, that's an
know.
expression.
Yeah.
Exactly. He has two logs in his eyes.
Oh, here's some Christmas trims. Huh. Now, what would this be? Is this for trimming fabric?
I believe that is for making a tree skirt.
Yeah, but it's or stockings.
Or
something.
stockings, or I suppose a very strange felt outfit for yourself if you need one for the office party. So this is a curved dash Oldsmobile. These originally came out in 1903 and were the most popular car of that year. They sold 5,000 of them, and that's what made Oldsmobile such a big deal. But they made these as Jim Beam bottles in the 60s. Now, the ones that are really valuable are not so much these. They only have 20 on this. The ones that are really valuable aren't so much the horseless carriage ones as the ones that are race cars or Volkswagens or that sort of thing. And those can sell for 75 and up. So that's a thing to look for. Bunch of Olympia glasses. Those would sell out where I sell near the old Olympia factory. We got one more room back here. Oh, here we go. Walt Disney World with the monorail.
Okay, you gotta show that. I don't really understand what that means, but
2004
yeah.
Turkey of the Year, Flying Saucer. It must have been...
Turkey of the Year, Martha Stewart.
Yes, poor Martha. She had a hard time in 2004. But I thought the electric chair recovering went really well. Let's see, what do we have back in here? Ah, a classic.
What?
A classic.
This?
A Wolf and Eagles, and it is a Mexican velvet painting. And yes, Mexican velvet paintings are a thing, and you probably should be buying them if they're in good condition and well done and an interesting thing. The artistry varies significantly. And I remember people telling me, if velvet paintings ever come into style again, I'm never going to come into another antique store. Well, you know what? Now they're full of them. Because look at that sweet panda for only $30. Who could not love that? Velvet paintings actually started back in the 1930s, by the way, so they're older than we think, although most of what we see is 70s
Here's
era.
some of the
yeah,
place
more
in
recent.
Nashville that Mary Beth got the circus stuff from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Hatch show prints.
Oh, yes,
See?
that's right. Hatch show print. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, yep. Mary Beth from Fatbird Finds really likes the graphics of theirs, and actually they do a great job. Oh, and these had to have come out of some sort of old restaurant that
Yeah.
was doing these decoupage tables.
Joe's Crab Shack.
Joe knows French fries. Shirley
Joe's
Temple
Crab
said
Shack.
so. Oh, I didn't know about Joe's
Yeah, it
Crab
says
Shack.
God Crabs. We do.
Oh, I see it, yes. Those are fun. You could reopen Joe's Crab Shack in your own home. So, gosh, I'm trying to think if there's anything we haven't shown.
Look at
I
the
guess
entire Pillsbury Doughboy
oh, yes.
collection.
These are starting to be collectible. They were new about 1990, and a lot of people really like them. I am starting to pick that stuff up and sell it now. This guy has quite an apparatus going on up here.
Look at the tray from
Niagara Falls.
Yeah, that's
yes. Full-on souvenir.
And what about, is that?
Well, it's older and it's cute, but it's got
Yeah,
chips.
but
So
I mean,
it's
I'm just trying
kind
to
of bypassed it.
see things that are.
Neat old Coca-Cola dispenser in
Oh, yeah,
here,
didn't-
and it's $100, which is really pretty cheap for that one. That one is
So
mid-60s.
it would be.
Let's see if it has the
here?
other parts to it. Oh, it's missing the
No.
front where the pulls are. That's why. I was
Yeah.
wondering how it could be so cheap. Darn, I was going to take it.
Yeah. Not today.
Not today. But I do have a little pile up there. They've got lots of cameras, but I have lots of cameras, so. And then just for fun, real quickly, we'll show you what it's like when they are unpacking.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's old chalkware with the prayer on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then out here you see, this is where they do their sorting. So all this stuff is just coming in. They
I'm gonna
are
have to come around here.
just redoing it, getting it ready for going in the store. So they have kind of a process here, but they've got a big parking lot. I can see why this is a big improvement for them. And I guess that, well, now you've seen what we've
We
seen.
can go across the street. Show the mighty Cumberland.
I guess we could do that really quickly and wrap up then, and then I'll come back and pay for all my stuff. So here we go. Take a look.
Yeah,
Fresh.
body parts.
Wow. Very cool.
I don't know if we'll make it across the road, but
Well, we can at least show the lovely fall colors, but that was Oddly Amazing Vintage and Collectibles, and it is a fun store. It's just something really different. You're not going to find too many traditional antiques in a store like this. You're not going to find rare pieces of Meissen or early art pieces or things that are high value in that regard, but when you see these oddities and these strange things and these channels that are devoted to this sort of thing, just understand that is a very devoted clientele that really likes that sort of thing. They enjoy the macabre, they want weird, and actually I've seen much stranger things in that store. They're a little between shipments right now, but
this is the
if
really
you see
busy,
it out there, it sells.
This is the busy place to cross the river.
Well,
but
you can see the river over there at least.
yeah, not very. Who got crabs? Down now.
No, the only time I ever got anything remotely related to that was when I was doing an estate,
Watch out.
and the woman's daughter had just come back from China and didn't mention to her mother that she was having a problem, and then left all her laundry in a pile. And I have learned since then that you've got to pick that laundry up in a big plastic bag and don't hold it against yourself. This is very important, folks. So if you ever are working in an estate house or at an estate sale, do not assume that there might not be critters living in linens, in clothes. I think the best thing to do as a reseller is just assume that everything is infested, needs to be washed, and then be happy if you're wrong. It's just better to assume the worst and find out the best in these sorts of circumstances. I got to have a lot of fun with my dermatologist for a couple of weeks getting rid of them. That was not fun.
Yeah, we've got a premiere later.
Yeah, we have a premiere later
This is
tonight on
kinda
the regular
funny.
channel.
This is kind of funny, the name of the dumpster.
Yes.
The Stinky Pinky.
Yes. It sort of fits the whole milieu of
Everyone
the
get
afternoon.
a screenshot right
Yeah,
now.
woohoo, yes. So anyhow, well, thank you for joining us. I think we've shown you what there is to see here, but it was lots of fun. I'm glad that you got to come along with our little excursion at this very strange little store that we enjoy. And if you're in Clarksville, they're right by the river. right downtown.
Jefferson.
And on Jefferson Street, that's right, or Jefferson Street, yes. Ah, yes. You want to stop with this guy? Well, why not? He started us off, we'll just end here. Thank you everybody for joining us, and we'll do something fun live in the near future again. Let us know how this looked, if it was clear, if it was blurry. We're trying to get this perfected so we can do more live stuff more spontaneously. And we thank you all. We'll see a bunch of you later in the chat this evening. And let's see, one other thing.
Well, George is going to be in Florida.
Oh yes, I will be in Florida. I will be there not this weekend, but the following weekend. I'll be at the first big Mount Dora extravaganza outside of Orlando, the first huge antique show in Florida for the season. And I've got a lot of fresh stock, so I'm looking forward to that. And I know some viewers are coming, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there. I'm looking forward to not seeing this guy there. And I guess that's it. So thank you everybody, and we will wrap up for now. I'll see you in the premiere on the regular channel at 8 p.m. Eastern. Bye.